From Igloo Creek Studios, I bring you the Energy Hour with your host, Dave Brown, who'll be talking about radiant barrier, solar fans for your attic, insulation, and if you call during the show, you'll have access to the lowest rates possible because the heat is on. That's right, folks. It is getting warmer, and as the heat rises, so do the electric bills. We want to keep your bills low, so welcome. My name is Dave Brown. I'm the host of this Energy Hour, and we're going to talk about heat exchange, how to slow it down. Slow down that heat exchange, and what will happen? Your bills will go down. It's such a wonderful scientific fact. Imagine you're in your second story of your ranch home, and you're trying to rest on a Saturday afternoon, trying to sleep in, but the sun is just making its way into one particular room that gets hot, and it happens to be your bedroom. And so you are not quite ready to get up. You want to lounge a little bit longer, so you grab your blankets, you grab your pillow, and you go downstairs where you know it's going to be cooler. You have the temperature set to 72, 73, except it feels 80 upstairs. So what do? What's the problem here? The problem is, and it's easy to diagnose, typically the problem is that you have not enough insulation. Some people think that it's an air or duct problem. It's an airflow issue. And chances are, if I were to come to your house and give you a free estimate, you would find out that you don't have enough insulation. And if you do, you have older insulation that is cellulose, something that is deteriorating, or the insulation that you have has shrunk. Now, we want to come in, assess the situation, and look at exactly what is going on in your attic and recommend either an 8-inch or a 10-inch ad to get you to code, which is going to be 13, 14 inches. And those inches add R value. You'll get about a 3 R value per inch increase. So imagine adding 8 inches. That's R24. Imagine adding 10 inches. That's R30. So what you're doing is decreasing the temperatures that are penetrating into your house, forcing you to be uncomfortable in that room and forcing you downstairs on the couch where you know it's going to be cooler for just a little while. But even some houses, the downstairs gets heated. So this is the benefit of insulation. This is why insulation is vital to any energy strategy in your home. If you're into bills and saving money on your groceries, well, then you should be into bills and saving money on your energy as well. So first thing that happens is comfort level comes back when you get insulation. The second thing that happens is your electric energy or your gas energy goes down, the usage of it. So does your bills. And then the third layer that happens is going to be the lengthening of the life of your HVAC system. You know, that's a very expensive purchase. And if you want to extend that purchase out longer, it's a smart thing to do. We're talking about reducing your energy bills, making yourself more comfortable in your home with the use of insulation. This is the Energy Hour, and I am Dave Brown. There is a hidden layer that we have not discussed that most people overlook. So you get more comfort, you get reduced energy bills, you get extension of your HVAC system, extension of the life of your roof, and the hidden thing that we don't talk about very often, and that is that you increase the resale value of your home. I've always heard, and many of you have always heard, that your home is your best investment. So why not invest in it wisely? Take care of the insulation level so that when you go to resell it, that's something that you won't be asked to do prior to selling the home. You can also expect about a 7% increase on the resale value. So what we're saying is that you get 107%, 100% of the value plus 7%. And you'll see that you'll get higher sale values on homes that are insulated properly, ventilated properly, that have radiant barrier. Now all new homes have installed on the decking radiant barrier. It's usually a product like Tech Shield or some of the other competing products. So that's scenario A. We've got the hot upper stairs and the cool lower downstairs and the migration down to it so that we can extend our rest period. Many of us work shift work. It seems funny, but there are people who work shift work and they come home in the morning. And so they go up to their bedroom and they start getting a good day's sleep. And by the time noon comes around, they can't stay up in that room. So at that point, you would want to give us a call at 832-464-7176. Now, if you call during this show, you're going to get a half price rate or special rate for the Energy Hour listeners only. And you have to call while the show is going on. And you'll get a 90 cent per square foot rate for the installation. You get a special half price rate for the radiant barrier. And you'll get a reduction of $250 off of our solar attic fans. Now, I want to talk a little bit about how solar attic fans integrates with the insulation to cool down the attic, to give some ventilation to your HVAC system, believe it or not, where the proper placement of that fan should be, and how it benefits your wallet and your well-being. I'll talk to you right. If you need insulation before the summer comes, give the good men and women of Attic Buddies a call, 832-458-4036. AtticBuddies.com, your friends in the insulation business. Welcome back. This is Dave Brown, and this is the Energy Hour, where we talk about radiant barrier, solar fans, attic insulation, how we can save you money on your energy bills week after week after week, because the heat is on. Hey there, this is Dave Brown, and we were talking about how the phenomenon of being in a house that gets hot upstairs, only hot upstairs, by the way, by 12 o'clock noon. And maybe you work shift work, or maybe you just sleeping in on the weekends. You definitely are going to have to fix that. You can't just keep living with that. I wouldn't. The reason why I wouldn't is because I just really love to be comfortable, like I think most people do. So what we would do as a professional insulation company, Attic Buddies will come out and give you a free estimate, which, by the way, if you call in during the show, you're going to get a special 90 cent per square foot rate. So give a call while the show is going on so you can get that rate. The phone number is going to be 832-464-7176. Now, you have to use that number in order to get the special rate. We do have another phone line, but this is strictly for the radio show. So call in before the hour is over so you can get that half price rate of 90 cents for insulation. Now, in talking about how a house gets hot upstairs and stays cooler downstairs, this phenomenon, I call it the migration effect, where you have to migrate from north to south just so that you can feel comfortable in your house. That shouldn't be. You want to live in your whole entire house. So let's talk about how the scientific side of how it works. Insulation is added. It creates resistance to the transfer of heat so that the heat from outside cannot be conductively transferred into the house. The house then retains its cool, AC conditioned space feeling evenly throughout the whole house, high and low, up and down. This is super, super, super fun to experience when I get to see a customer who was discomfort. They were in discomfort, and then after we added the insulation, they tell us right away they feel better. That's priceless. Now let's talk about what that could cost at 90 cents a square foot. Let's say you have a 2,000 square foot home. You have an upstairs and downstairs of equal space value. So you have 1,000 square feet upstairs, 1,000 square feet downstairs. So typically that attic is going to be 1,000 square feet. So 1,000 square feet times 90 cents will be $900 to add 8 inches of insulation. Now, to be transparent, to add 10 is going to be slightly more. So we always want to kind of give you the information so that when we show up at the door, and if we have to add 10 inches instead of 8, you're not surprised. You won't be, hey, I thought it was going to be 90 cents. But 10 inches is not very much more than that. It's $1.16 a square foot for the half price rate, and only during this show. So make sure you give us a call at 832-464-7176 to take advantage. So we want to eliminate that phenomenon. The migration effect is what we'll call that. But there are many other scenarios. So we were in a single-story home just last week. It was under-insulated. The house was built in the 80s. If your house is built in the 80s, chances are you're going to be under-insulated. If you're sure that you're under-insulated, just give us a call. We'll come out and take a look. We have really friendly reps that come out, and we have friendly installers that come out. So both the install side and the reps that come out are very knowledgeable and very helpful. And our goal is to help you solve your issues when it comes to energy needs. So we went out and we did this house. It was a single story. We added 8 inches of insulation all around. We added a solar attic fan. Immediately, the homeowner said, I usually she had the Nest, which I really love, by the way. She had the Nest, and she set the Nest to a specific temperature. I think it was 75 degrees. She liked it a little warmer. I like it a little cooler in my house. And she said that she could never get the temperature to match what she set it to. It would be 80 degrees. And that's because she didn't have enough insulation. And on a single story, believe it or not, you don't have the second story to insulate you from the sun. In a double story home, the sun is insulated by the second story. That's why the second story heats up. In a single story home, there's no buffer. So if you don't have enough insulation, you are in trouble. We're talking about energy efficiency in the home. This is the Energy Hour. I'm Dave Brown. And we're talking about insufficient insulation in your home and how that can truly affect your comfort level, your wallet, of course, the resale value of your home, and also the wear and tear of your HVAC system. So getting insulation in your house has a trifold effect. It reduces bills, it increases your comfort, and it extends the life of your HVAC system. So, Dave, what type of insulation do you use? We use Owens & Corning. This is the only certified product that has won an award for anti-asthmatic. It's hypoallergenic. It's a little more expensive for us. So you'll see many companies using the white, which is less expensive. Kind of gives you a hint on where their priorities are. It's slightly more expensive for us. However, we don't pass that on to you. We don't pass that upcharge on to you. We want to give you the best products possible. If you look at the Attic Buddies logo, you'll see a green sun, which represents green products that will help improve the quality of your life. That is very important to us, and it's very important to you. You want a product that your grandkids can come and not be harmed by. You want a product that is not going to be flammable. You want a product that is going to keep its value longer. So you can get a lot of cheaper insulations. However, they may settle a lot quicker, a lot faster, and by a lot more depth, whereas the Owens & Corning product will not settle more than an inch over 10 years. That's their guarantee. Owens & Corning, you can go to their website and check their specs on the products. So we use a very particular product for a very, very particular reason, and that reason is you. You are really important to us. So we're talking about energy efficiency in the home. This is the Energy Hour. I am Dave Brown, and the phone number to get the half price rate before the show ends is 832-464-7176. Give a call now while the show is going on, because as soon as the show cuts off, the prices go back to normal. We like to open a window where we're helping people for a given amount of time. And then we're still helping people. We still have the best rates in the business, except this special half price rate only applies to listeners of this radio show. All right, so we had the 2-story, the migration, and then we had the can't keep up with the thermostat. That's where you set a thermostat to 75, but the house never gets to 75 degrees, or you set it to 68, it never gets to 68. It's somewhere in the 70s. That's a clear sign of lack of insulation. Okay, I want to talk about another scenario that we don't talk about very often, and we don't talk too much about how lack of insulation can cause variations in different rooms in a single story. So what we normally do is we determine we have a compass, so we can determine where east, west, north, and south is. Typically, southern face of the house is going to be the hottest, the south and the western side. Typically, that's where your hot rooms are going to be. So we try to mitigate that by adding just a little bit more insulation over those rooms. So we're still going to get you up to code, but maybe over those rooms we'll put in 16 inches. This is a great practice because what it does is it adds a little buffer to the most exposed side of your house. When that happens, no longer are you going to be in that hot room anymore. You won't have that imbalance that you felt. That was immediate testimony that I got from one of my customers. Wow, right away, I set it to 75 and it is 75 degrees in here. I like that Nest thermostat because it tells you the indoor temperature and it matches it to the temperature that you set it for. And it doesn't match it automatically, but you can match it against that is what I mean. So it's a really great tool to really see. Set your thermostat for a particular degree. Give it some time. See if the temperature indoors ever keeps up with the temperature you set it to. If it doesn't, you would probably want to give us a call. Call for your free estimate. It's always free. Our estimates are done professionally, with respect, always cheerfully, and they're done without any pressure. Of course, we want you to use our service. We're not here on the radio for no reason. At the same time, every story is different. Some people have things that they have to get done before others. So we don't rush you and try to make you do our service first. We really try and figure out what makes sense for your, number one, your schedule, your timing, your budget, and your long-term goals for your home. Are you selling the home? Are you going to live there forever? And we intertwine an energy efficiency plan along with a quote and an estimate that's written down, by the way. And then we have a digital version. So you get two estimates that match each other. It makes for transparent services. It makes sure that you're getting what we say you're going to get. And it makes sure that you don't miss either one. Because if you miss the email, then you have that paper copy in your hand. If you lose the paper copy, you have the email version. It's pretty common sense these days. Most people use smartphones. Most people are online. Most people, even my mom, who is a wonderful, amazing woman in her 80s, and she is on Facebook, on email, on smartphone. She is doing her thing, and that's because she has some great grandkids that keep her up to snuff. So we want to make sure that you have every access to all the information so that when you get an estimate from Attic Buddies, it's thorough, it's complete, it's detailed, and it is done exactly the way we say it's going to be done. So that's what you can expect when we come out and give an estimate. We'll offer you a couple dates. Of course, because it's heating up right now, our calendar is getting full, and we can get pushed back weeks at a time. So we urge you to get in as soon as possible. Sometimes you can actually get on calendar and then move it around if your schedule changed. So we're flexible as well. We are talking about energy efficiency in your home. I'm Dave Brown. This is the Energy Hour, and I'm the owner of Attic Buddies. Hey, Dave, what's it like? How long does it take to give an estimate? Well, let me just tell you. It can take possibly 20 minutes to, say, an hour to properly diagnose what you need in your attic. It's not rocket science, but there's a little bit of skill involved and experience, of course, and also just being thorough. So we thoroughly take a look at things like, do you have a ridge vent? How are your soffit vents breathing? Are they open? Do they present a problem where rodents can get in? That's right, I said rodents. Rodents do love to live in attics when it's cold, and they like to nest. And they just love romping around in your attic. So if we do see something like that, we will let you know. Now, the thing that I see more often than rodents is I see attics that are stuffy and do not breathe. In that case, what we want to do is pull the insulation away from the soffit vents, install what's called baffles. Now, here's the deal. Attic Buddies gives 20 free baffles per every install. We give up to 20 free installs of baffles. Baffles are styrofoam devices that go along the decking so that when you blow the insulation in, the insulation does not fall down into the soffit vents, thereby making your attic hot and stuffy. Now, this is a problem because if you have a hot and stuffy attic, you're not going to have airflow to the ridge or to your solar attic fan. And without airflow, it's like having an attic with a stuffy nose. We talked about this before, and we'll continue to talk about that. Having a stuffed nose attic means that you have potential mold and moisture buildup. You have now nowhere for the heat to dissipate to get cool air in to replace the hot air. So now you're just going to have a stuffy attic. And it doesn't matter how many ridge vents you have, how much airflow, extraction of airflow that you have. If you don't have intake, you can be in big trouble. So we like to fix that. And we also like to think that the value of the soffit vents are greater than any other thing that you could think of. So getting free baffles for your soffits it's a $300 value. You're talking about 20 baffles. I mean, that's enough to let enough air in, an airflow at a rate of 1500 CFM, exchange the air enough so that you won't have the potential of moisture and mold buildup. So this is super important. And again, we give that to you absolutely free. If you're interested in having us come out and take a look, giving you some really expert advice on how to improve the energy efficiency of your house, increase the airflow in your attic, give us a call. We're at 832-464-7176. This is the half price line only. So you have to call this number for the half price rate that's only available during this show. Okay, so my name is Dave. This is the Energy Hour. I am the owner of Attic Buddies, and we're talking about attic energy efficiency and how it can help you save money this very hot season. We're going to take a quick break. You are listening to the Energy Hour with Dave Brown. Check out Dave Brown at atticbuddies.com for low rates on insulation, radiant barrier, and solar attic fans. Did you know that adding a solar attic fan can increase airflow in your attic, reduce the chance of mold, moisture buildup, also reduce the chance of getting dust mites? Those nasty little critters can make a home in your attic and make it very difficult for you to breathe in your own home. Solar attic fans are a central part of a healthy attic. They cool down the attic for your HVAC system to live in a much better environment so your HVAC system is not dying an early death. Give Attic Buddies a call. We'll come out professionally and take a look at your roof pitch, take a look at your airflow, and determine exactly how many or how little fans you'll need for your attic. AtticBuddies.com, 832-464-7176, or directly at 832-458-4036. Welcome back. This is Dave Brown, and this is the Energy Hour, where we talk about radiant barrier, solar fans, attic insulation, how we can save you money on your energy bills week after week after week, because the heat is on. That's right, folks. The heat is on, and you can feel it. Feel it building up in the city. I remember some of these days that get up to 99 degrees and above. And you can only imagine what it feels like inside of an attic. This is the Energy Hour. I'm Dave Brown, owner of Attic Buddies. You can find us at atticbuddies.com, and we have installed so many solar attic fans. Now, not to say that if you don't do it right away, you're not smart, but typically people who are ahead of the curve handle it while the weather is cool. Sure, it's a little bit easier on us. At the same time, it's easier on you because you're getting the off-season rates. You're getting these special rates for installation of insulation, radiant barrier, solar attic fans. And I want to talk a little bit about the solar attic fans. Number one, there's a credit called the ITC credit. It's an energy credit that is provided to any American that installs any solar product in their home between now and 2022. So if you're wondering if it's still available to you, yes, it is. And it's a 30% credit that you get back on your taxes. Now, this is a great value. So if you buy a solar attic fan for $750, you actually will get somewhere around $220 some odd dollars back. This is a great value. So you really get the fan for less than $500 or $500, somewhere around there. And you get the benefit of what the solar attic fan does. Number one, it does not run on your home power, so it's not something that's going to add to your electric bill. It also runs continuously, or it can run based on temperature, or it can run based on humidity. We use the Remington brand. Again, here's another popular brand that we know has value. Good brand values are brands that have been around for a long time and they stand by their products. So the Remington Solar Attic Fan, it has a lifetime warranty that cannot be washed away, so to speak, or blown away, so to speak. It will provide you with the comfort of knowing that if something happens to your solar attic fan, that it will be replaced at no cost to you. Solar attic fans work to suck the air out of the attic at a high rate. So you may have existing what they call the whirlybirds, the things that spin, and you think that that is a fan or a solar fan. It is absolutely not a solar attic fan. It is a passive vent that spins only when air is generated through the attic. Usually when hot air builds up, you can see the air rising is what makes those whirlybirds spin. Now, those spin at a rate, or allow air to pass through them at a rate of about 50 cubic feet per minute, or you hear the term CFM, cubic feet per minute. The Remington Solar Attic Fan spins and sucks air at a rate of 1,550 CFM. Now, which one would you want to be working in? Which attic, if you were HVAC system, would you want to live in? Which one would you want to have as a homeowner? A passive vent or a solar attic fan that spins and sucks air out at a rate of 1,550 CFM. I'll give you a couple seconds. But while we do that, I want to remind you that this is the Energy Hour. I am Dave Brown. This is a show where we talk about energy efficiency in your home, what we can do to mitigate that and bring down your bills, your energy bills, increase your comfort level in your home, and extend the life of your HVAC system, your roofing system, and make your home more saleable at a higher rate. So the solar attic fan is a great tool for cooling down the attic. Now, the purpose of cooling down the attic, again, is to extend all of the equipment that sits in there. Maybe you store stuff in there. I go in many attics and I see suitcases from the 1970s. I see some really interesting artifacts in attics. People store things there. Solar attic fan will make that environment a lot better for some of your storage. And if you don't have enough space in there, you can always give Attic Buddies a call also, and we can actually install decking in your attic so that you can have a much sturdier platform to store your things. The very last thing you want to do is plop your bags or your old Christmas stuff right on top of the insulation. It's a really bad idea. It takes away the R value of the insulation by mashing it down. It's the air pockets in between the insulation that causes the resistance to the heat transfer. If you condense it, the heat now can be transferred much faster through that insulation. So it's easy. We build these things and then we install it right in your attic. We tie them down to your existing deck so they're not going to go anywhere. They can hold thousands of pounds. You will have the security of knowing that your things are not somewhere else in a storage facility getting kind of damaged. So you can couple that platform that we'll build for you, that decking, and we build them with micro holes or holes in them that allow the insulation to breathe underneath. So we thought of everything. These are high quality decks. We have them in inventory in our warehouse, so you won't have to wait very long to get them. So if you ordered some today, we can have them in your attic within a week, sometimes sooner. So, solar attic fan can increase the airflow in your attic at a rate of 1500 CFM. And what that means in real terms is that that fan can move 1500 cubic feet of air every hour. Now, that's a great attic. That's a really good attic. And so now, let's say you've done the insulation, you've slowed down the transfer of heat from the outside sun to the inside living space, or in the winter, you transfer you slow down the transfer of heat with insulation from the inside of the house to the outside. So either way, insulation is about slowing down the transfer of heat. And again, I'm Dave. This is the Energy Hour, and we're talking about energy efficiency and how to improve it in your home with items like solar attic fans, insulation, and radiant barrier foil. So right now we're talking about solar attic fans, how it can decrease the temperature in your attic, creating air exchanges that cool down the attic. It sucks the cooler air in from the soffit vents and exhumes it out of the attic fan. So it sucks. It doesn't blow in. Otherwise, you'd just be blowing hot air back into the attic, and that's not a good idea. So it will suck the air out of the attic, bring in the cool air, exchange that air, making sure that we're not building up moisture. Moisture is the enemy of so many things. Heat is a murderer of anything mechanical. Moisture also will do the same type of harsh damage, except that it will cause things to decay, deteriorate, cause things to want to breed mold, breeding ground for lice, mites, you name it. We don't want that type of buildup in our attic. So a solar attic fan works. You want to use about one solar attic fan per 1,500 square foot of attic. So if you have an attic that is exactly 1,500 or less, one solar attic fan will work. And remember, these are the Remington solar attic fans. These are the highest quality on the market. They're 30-watt solar fans, so they're going to be more powerful than the other fans. They are also rated, UL rated and UL listed, so they are checked for fire rated. They're checked for fire hazards. They will not cause a fire on your roof. They are run by the sun and on the sun and from the sun. And hey, if you're religious, they're God-powered. So they will save you money. They won't be spending your money every month like a wired fan, which again, wired fan is dangerous in my opinion because they're wired and they could catch on fire and ruin your whole day. We don't want that to happen. Solar attic fan is the way to go. It's a very quick install. It can be somewhere between a half an hour to an hour to install. We can even replace your existing whirlybird with that. So we don't always have to invade or make a new hole in your roof. Chances are you already have an air hawk or a whirlybird on your roof. We can take that old air hawk. The air hawk is just a square vent. We can take that out and put in the solar attic fan. It's a standard hole for everything. So let's talk about how the solar attic fans can help you. And placement. This is very important. Most people and most companies do not know where to place the solar attic fans. Let's talk about that. I'm Dave with Attic Buddies, and this is the Energy Hour. So when placing a solar attic fan, it's a good idea to place that solar attic fan above the HVAC unit. Why? The HVAC unit is an electrical mechanical device that's going to give off heat. So why not put it right above that? Typically, HVAC system will be somewhere near the center of the attic. So we want to put it near the center of the attic for even distribution. Somewhere around 24 inches from the ridge so that we can get a nice high point, not too close to the ridge, but not too far either, so that we can get the hottest air sucked out of the attic and bring in the lowest air from the soffit vents so that we can exchange it with cooler air. But we really want to get that solar attic fan somewhere atop that HVAC system so that we can start pulling out some of that mechanical heat that's been built up from that device. That should make great sense to anyone listening. So, solar attic fans reduces your temperature in your attic, creating a cooler environment for the HVAC system. It reduces the chance of mold, moisture buildup. It also makes sure that you don't have lice and dust mites and problems that can build up in an attic. All right? And so we have that coupled with enough insulation, you're getting closer and closer to what I call the picture perfect attic. And if you're interested in, while this program's going on, getting a free estimate so you can start working on getting your attic together for the season that's coming, and it's going to be super hot, give us a call at 832-464-7176. I am Dave Brown, owner of Attic Buddies. This is the Energy Hour. Now, I want to talk about one other thing. The Solar Attic Fan, again, comes with an energy credit. It's a 30% federal tax credit that you get back on your taxes for having gone solar. It's the government trying to say, folks, we encourage you to go solar. I really have heard reports that in the next 20 years, up to 30 to 40% of our energy uses is going to be driven by alternative energy, solar, wind, water generated. It's just a time to really get in on it. Take advantage of it now. After 2022, the solar credits will go away because I guess that's the breaking point, or the point where they feel enough homes will have solar involved that it doesn't need to be incentivized anymore. So the Solar Attic Fan is high quality, 30-watt Remington solar fan, 1550 CFM, 30% federal tax credit, easy install. It doesn't take too long. Placed in the right placement so that we get the maximum amount of hot air out of your attic so you have a much cooler environment. And this way we can extend the life of your HVAC system. I'm Dave Brown, owner of Attic Buddies. This is the Energy Hour. Let's take a quick break and we'll be back to talk a little bit about Radiant Barrier Foil. You are listening to the Energy Hour with Dave Brown. Check out Dave Brown at atticbuddies.com for low rates on insulation, radiant barrier, and solar attic fans. Imagine your attic cooler by 20 to 30 degrees. Well, imagine no more. Radiant Barrier Foil is the answer. Radiant Barrier Foil is the only true radiant barrier on the market. Ask the good people down at Attic Buddies. They'll come and give you a free estimate and see exactly how affordable it could be for you to cool your attic down once and for all. AtticBuddies.com, your friends in the insulation business. 832-458-4036. Welcome back. This is Dave Brown, and this is the Energy Hour, where we talk about radiant barrier, solar fans, attic insulation, how we can save you money on your energy bills week after week after week, because the heat is on. Oh yeah. Hot, heat, sweltering, melting, dripping, drenching heat is here, folks. It might only be 87 degrees, but 99 is on its way. One of the best preparations against heat that's going to, first of all, make you uncomfortable. Secondly, the heat that's going to run your electric bill through the roof. And then thirdly, heat that's going to destroy your property, your HVAC system, the underlayment of your roof. All this actually deteriorates the value of your home. So we think that we can kind of sit still and we have a home and it's going to appreciate and make us money. And that's partially true, except we have to care for it and take care of it. And then the house can appreciate in value with added value. Added value says, I'm going to invest in the quality of my home, the beautification of it, the functionality of it, so that when I go to sell, I can get more than what I paid for it. This is the Energy Hour. I'm Dave Brown. I am the owner of Attic Buddies. Attic Buddies is spelled ATTICBUDDIES. We do anything that has to do with energy efficiency in your home, in the walls, in your office, you name it. So we do commercial spaces as well. So if you're listening to this program and you want to get a special lower rate, you have to call in while the program is going on. We only have a couple more minutes left. So you want to give a call to 832-464-7176. Make sure that you give the details so we can come out and give you a free estimate. We do commercial spaces as well, so don't feel that if you're a business owner, we can't help you as well. Warehouses, they need insulation too. Many times the area over the office in a warehouse has this rolled in batting, but I never quite see it be enough. So we can do some good in those areas as well. We also do a spray foam insulation, batting insulation, blown in insulation, radiant barrier, solar attic fans, and we create specialty decking for your attic so you can store things in those places. And I just realized how important that was. So many people really don't have enough storage space, and they're using the attic as storage spaces, and what's happening is they're smushing the insulation. Let's get back to radiant barrier. Radiant barrier foil is what we use. We do not use the spray-on radiant barrier. That was a conscious choice to provide the healthiest product for our customers. We're not going to downplay the spray-on. We're not trying to do that. But we want to talk about the values of our core customers. The core customers that we have, they value their grandchildren. They want them to run and play through the house and be healthy. The core customers that we have, they value long life and exercise and eating right. And so they value their own health. So we thought about the product that would most be in line with those values, and that was the radiant foil. It costs more. It costs more than the radiant barrier that's a spray-on. So does the cost of an organic banana. It costs more. What's the value in return? You're getting something that has been naturally made without chemicals, without harmful sprays, without anything that's going to affect your health in a negative way. The radiant foil is slower to install, takes a lot longer to install. It works a lot better. It works 97% of the radiant barrier. It works to reject those rays. It has a low emissivity rate, so when you touch your hand on the side that has the radiant barrier, you'll notice that it's much cooler than the decking that doesn't. The hot air rises behind the radiant barrier and leaves out of the solar attic fan that you just got for $500 some odd after the rebate. The radiant barrier foil is unterrible. You can't tear this stuff. You better have a really good knife, and it better be super sharp. It just doesn't go away. We're talking about a much better product. We don't mind doing a longer install. Of course, again, the price is higher. The value is also immensely higher. It's going to work every single time, no matter who installs it. It's not a spray that can be sprayed on lightly, so therefore you don't get the effect. So we're not trying to save money by lightly applying it. You can't even get away with that. The radiant barrier works on the principle of reflectivity and emissivity. What happens is the sun rays has many different frequencies of the spectrum of light. You're talking about ultraviolet light, gamma ray. Ultraviolet light can go right through wood, and when it hits the attic, it heats the attic up. But when we put up the radiant barrier, it hits that barrier and gets rejected away from the attic, and then the heat rises up the canal or the channel and goes right out of the attic without entering the attic. We just did a pretty big job 2 days ago. Our customer said immediately he felt the difference. Now what we can do is we can guarantee you that we can move at the rate of about 200 square foot per hour. So if we did an 8-hour day, we're talking about a 1,600 square foot attic. It takes a while. There's stapling involved. It's a beautiful attic when it's done. It looks like you're in a spaceship. I like to look better than the spray-on. The spray-on looks, is that really working? It looks like a paint. There's no denying that it works because you're standing in the midst of it. You can feel the temperatures less than they were before the radiant barrier foil has been installed. Folks, this is the Energy Hour. I'm Dave Brown with Attic Buddies, and we're talking about radiant barrier foil. Now, if you want to get a free estimate and you're ready for the discounted rate on the radiant foil, you need to call 832-464-7176. Our operators will take your information down, schedule the appointment according to your schedule, by the way. At the time you'd like, we'll show up no matter where you are in the Houston area and surrounding areas. And we'll come out and give you a free estimate, and we'll talk about the radiant barrier that we can see if it's a value to you. So again, somewhere around 200 square foot per hour. So in a given day, we can do 1,600 square foot of radiant barrier. If you've got a larger attic, it may take a little bit more time. No problem. The rates are about $250 a square foot for radiant barrier. If you're going to live in the home for a long time, I would advise the radiant barrier. If you feel as though this is where you've been for a long time, this is where you're going to be for the next 20, 30 years, radiant barrier is absolutely worth it. You're cooling down your attic by a potential 20 to 30 degrees, so you have a much better environment for your HVAC system to live in. Couple that with a solar attic fan and enough insulation that gets you up to code. Now you're dealing with new home level efficiency in your home. So if you're really about energy efficiency, you will go with the radiant barrier foil. I think it's great that it takes longer to install the radiant barrier foil than the spray on. That lets you know that we're not concerned with being a turn and burn operation. Many people start off installing the radiant foil and they go, oh my gosh, this is hard. We're never going to be able to get any work done unless we can go from house to house to house. So then they switch over to the radiant spray, and lo and behold, they're offering you an inferior product so that they can bounce from house to house to house. Don't tell them I told you this, but that's what they're doing. I'm Dave for Attic Buddies. This is the Energy Hour. We're talking about energy efficiency in your home. We want to advise you the best ways to go about installing radiant barrier in your home, solar energy or solar attic fans for greater energy reduction in your attic, insulation, which is the front line to having a even temperature home, to having your thermostat and the temperature in your house be the same. This is exactly what you're in need of because you can feel the heat rising. The heat is on. So we want to make sure that you're ready for the heat that's coming. Okay, so insulation. We're going to recap a little bit. The code in this region is going to be 13 to 14 inches. That means you're going to be at an R value of R38, 39 to 42. You get about 3 R value per inch out of most blown-in insulation. Now, you want to do blown-in insulation in the attic. In the walls, you want to do batting insulation. In some cases, you want to do spray foam insulation, which will give you a higher R value. You don't want to do that in retro home situations. You might want to do it in new construction. And then we talked about solar attic fans. Solar attic fans move air, suck air through your attic from the soffit vents all the way up through that fan at a rate of 1,500 CFM, or cubic feet per minute. That means every hour you're exchanging air every hour in a 1,500 square foot attic. It's much better than the whirlybirds that you have on top of your deck. You don't want to use a whirlybird if you have a specific type of roof. Certain types of roofs, they hold heat. Shallow roofs hold heat. Steep roofs move more air. So typically, if we have a super steep roof, you won't need a solar attic fan. But most people don't. In this state, they have shallow roofs. So we want to pull that hot air out with a solar attic fan. Then finally, we talked about radiant barrier foil. Radiant barrier foil is the most effective product on the market and the only true radiant barrier. Spraying some paint on the wall is not a true radiant barrier. A barrier is something that, just think of a barricade. All right, let's common sense it out. And again, this is the Energy Hour. We're talking about how to reduce energy bills in your home this summer, something everybody needs. We're also telling you how you can get a free estimate just by giving us a call at 832-464-7176. and we'll come out and one of our experts will give you an expert free assessment, no pressure. We'll give you an opportunity to set an appointment with us when we have discovered what will make your attic great again. Again, that's 822-464-7176. Attic Buddies is a full-service, insured insulation company that specializes in every aspect of energy efficiency. We're your friends in the insulation business. I love that tagline because it's absolutely true. We are a friendly company. Our staff is knowledgeable, always in a good mood because we're out doing what we love to do, which is help reduce energy costs for homeowners. So lastly, we talked about the radiant barrier foil. This is the true and one and only radiant barrier that there is. Everything else is kind of like an attempt to try to be the radiant foil. Spraying it on, well, there's no distance between the spray and the decking. So you don't have any air channel. So that means the heat hits that, and if it's not sprayed on correctly, it's going to go right through that. It has to be solidly sprayed on for it to be effective, and even then, it's about 80 to 85% effective, whereas the radiant foil is 97% effective. I would choose the radiant foil all day long. Slightly more expensive, but again, it's organic, where the other product is chemical based. Organic, chemical based. You choose. I'm Dave Brown for Attic Buddies. This is the Energy Hour. Now, so we've recapped. We talked about how you can bring down the uneven zones in your house. You can even out those uneven zones with adequate insulation, which we blow in high quality Owens & Corning. Safe for asthmatics. Hypoallergenic product. It's the pink stuff. You know what it is. We talked about the solar attic fans that we use, the high quality Remington 1500 CFM 30 watt solar fan with the 30% federal tax credit that you get back with your taxes. And we talked about the radiant barrier foil, which is the only true radiant barrier on the market. I think we had a great show because we got a chance to talk about exactly what will benefit your house. Give us a call right now at 832-464-7176. We're about to leave for the day. Thanks for listening. This is Dave of Attic Buddies, atticbuddies.com, and this has been the Energy Hour. Remember, we're your friends in the insulation business. If you need insulation before the summer comes, give the good men and women of Attic Buddies a call, 832-458-4036. atticbuddies.com, your friends in the insulation business. The Energy Hour has been brought to you by atticbuddies.com. Attic Buddies, your friends in the insulation business. Don't be defeated. Beat the heat this summer. Attic Buddies, 832-464-7176 for the half price special. Call now.